The objective of CARE1 pragmatic clinical trial is to set up in first line a large, pragmatic randomized study to define in patients with metastatic kidney cancer what is the optimal combination, using a specific biomarker so that we can make the most of existing treatment. It is a pragmatic trial that has been designed to use existing treatment that are approved in this disease and ultimately be able to select for one patient what is the best combination. Based on this pragmatic clinical trial, we have launched a European platform funded by the European grant Horizon 2020 so that we can ultimately be able to investigate other biomarkers and enhance the research and the knowledge around this disease. There are two different impacts that we can expect from CARE1 program. The first one is that thanks to this clinical randomized prospective study, we will be able to define, based on a routinely available biomarker, what is the best combination for one patient that we need to treat in frontline setting of metastatic kidney cancer. The second impact is that by building this large consortium with clinical data and prospective follow-up, we will also be able to launch further projects around the understanding of the biology of the course of the disease and the biomarker to help us to guide the best treatment strategy. The idea of the CARE1 program came from the effort of European investigators that are involved in the treatment of renal cell carcinoma, kidney cancer, to define what are the most relevant questions to date in this disease and its treatment. And so several experts in the field, several people involved in the patient care, but also patient representative, came together to select what are key priorities. Among them is how can we make sure we are providing to the patient the best treatments available, knowing that we do have access in Europe and in the world to different treatment strategies with different drugs available. And so the idea was to launch a trial among different European countries, 8 for now, and hopefully maybe larger in the future, to randomize patients, looking at the different treatment strategy, also based on a specifically routinely available biomarker, something that we can do in any centers where we treat patients with metastatic kidney cancer currently in Europe. So that came from our clinical observation, what was the need, and how we want to implement that among several centers, about 100 centers in Europe. What excites me the most around this project? There are different aspects. One of them was to be able to come up with a very clinical, pragmatic question that is currently a challenge for all the treating physicians that handle patients with renal cell carcinoma. The second one was the ability to create this network within Europe among 8 different countries, many centers that would involve not only physicians, but also patient representatives from France, from all Europe. And this is very exciting because it means that we will be able to ask the questions that are relevant for the patient, for the physician, so that we can build the best treatment strategy for each patient. But ultimately, what this trial will be able to do is to set up a platform, because by treating 1,200 patients as part of a clinical trial, where we collect blood, tumor samples, and clinical data, of course, we will be able to have a strong foundation on which we can further investigate other biomarkers and other research questions. So it is not only the start of a pragmatic clinical trial, but also the opportunity to further have discovery in this field and also collaborate with other projects funded through the EU Commission. The impact we anticipate from CARE1 study is to change the standard of care, meaning that by demonstrating that the use of a biomarker can actually increase the overall survival of our patients by a better use of existing treatment, we have the potential to change our standard of care and have more defined guidelines for our patients. But the second impact is also to demonstrate that at an academic level, with partnering with different academic centers, but also companies within Europe, we have the ability to answer pragmatic clinical questions that are relevant for our patients and demonstrate how EU initiative can really transform the standard of care. The one thing that this program, to me, will be able to achieve is to demonstrate that at the European level, we have not only the willingness, but also the ability to network, to tackle what are the clinically relevant questions in our field.